as high as you can up, and then take the steering wheel to turn it over so it's leaning this way. After that, you'll want to unscrew this fitting here. Basically, once you unscrew that fitting, the engine oil will start to drain. There's a yellow O-ring that's behind here. You'll want to change that out, once you change the engine.
Is there a particular direction that you think it shoots out at, just so I'm aware? Some cars
it's going to come, so when the motor's trimmed up and then tilted this way, it's going to start to pour. It'll run a little bit down here, but it should be running fairly smoothly. That's why it's kind of got that notch there, so it should run smoothly out and shouldn't go all the way down, really. So do that after the 10 hours. Now for the gear lube in the lower unit, it's a couple screws over here on the other side of the motor. Basically, you've got 2 screws that are up here, one here and one here. Your third screw is just underneath here where my finger is. Basically, you want to unscrew the top ones first and then the bottom to let it all drain out. Once the gear lube's been completely drained out, you'd want to take your gear lube bottle with a little pump. Basically, you'd fill from the bottom up until gear lube starts to come out of these top 2 holes here. Initially, it's going to kind of like bubble out. You'll want to keep pumping until it stops bubbling, and it basically just starts to run smoothly. That's when you've hit your fill line. After you've hit your fill line, put the top 2 screws in first, and then put the bottom screw in last. There's also yellow O-rings that go behind those. Change those out as well.
How often should we be doing the gear lube?
So do the engine oil and gear lube after the first 10 hours, and then you'd want to do it every year or every 100 hours after that, kind of as your annual maintenance, annual service. Are y'all planning on using the boat in freshwater, saltwater, brackish water?
James
Mix
River.
of both? Okay, James River, what part?
The Rockets Landing.
Okay, then you're pretty much freshwater there. So for more extended maintenance, you should get about 3 years to 300 hours out of your belt, impeller, and thermostat. Just some more extended maintenance. I like to tell people that it's all broken down in your book here, kind of for more long-term stuff. Your spark plugs should also be good for 3 years to 300 hours. You can give them a check once a year to make sure they're not too fouled up or anything. As far as gasoline and fuel, Mercury runs all their motors now with 87 octane regular gas. They do treat their fuel with a fuel stabilizer called Mercury Quick Care. Comes in this little green bottle. About 1 ounce of that treats about 10 gallons of gas. So you can use a couple ounces of that when you fill up your tank. Basically, it just helps everything to run smoothly. Helps treat the ethanol that's in gas now.
Now, if we put gas that doesn't have ethanol, that's fine.
It's completely fine. You can run non-ethanol. You can run a higher octane gas. I'd still recommend still using the stabilizer through it. It just helps everything to run smoothly. It doesn't hurt the engine at all. That's pretty much everything really with the motor. Any questions that y'all have with the motor about?
Not yet.
Okay. Then if y'all want, we can go up and go over the console.